I'm going to welcome her. And so are these shoppers making up for lackluster sales prior to the Christmas season?
Good morning, Keith. It's great to be here. I hope you had a great holiday.
I did.
Christmas. Wasn't it fabulous? It goes by so fast every year.
Like that.
And you know, the news of the day, of course, is sales and shopping. And what we found is sales were mediocre this holiday season. They weren't bad, but they really weren't good. And retailers are always looking for more.
Right.
They want more sales, they want more money, they want more profits. And so today is the day for them to perhaps add to that. A lot of people got gift cards, they're trying to spend them. Returns are, of course, a big thing, too. And so people are trying to frantically get into the stores, get some early bird specials, and sort of take care of some holiday shopping perhaps they didn't do
Let's
before.
go back to prior to Christmas, and a lot of people are blaming weather. They're saying bad weather will keep people from going to the malls. They're also talking about the housing market having an impact on
right.
holiday
Well,
shopping.
it wasn't bad weather. It was good weather in a way because we didn't have the snow, we didn't have the cold, so it wasn't the traditional Christmas shopping. I think overall that consumers spent, I mean, we spent $458 billion, so it was still quite a bit of
it's a lot of money.
Huge chunk of change. And it was about 4 to 5% increase since last year. So that's still very healthy and hefty. But the problem was that, you know, there's so many stores out there, and what we've tended to do is the pie is getting bigger, but the pieces for each individual retailer are not necessarily getting bigger. And so Walmart surprisingly did not do well this holiday season. And so because they're the largest retailer and they really take a huge chunk of change out of consumers' pockets, that I think set the precedent. And so overall, sales weren't ho-hum, Mary, but they were decent enough.
Walmart, they were flat or were they down?
They were flat.
Okay.
They weren't as high as they had expected.
And they're saying that's, all the experts saying that has a big impact on the economy.
Of course.
Walmart specifically.
They're the largest of all the retailers.
Right.
Target, interestingly enough, did well. Costco did extremely well. Gap did not. So you look at the different individual retailers, and some of them fared decently. And basically the discounters did overall very well, except for the Walmart.
Well, this year we're talking about the lackluster, the loyalty of shoppers. Was it not there this year, or was it? Did the loyal shoppers still go to their favorite stores?
Of course, the loyal shoppers went to their favorite stores.
Sure.
What happened is we had a lot of online shopping this year, which took a huge chunk out of the brick and mortar stores. We had about 2 or 3% of all sales, which is huge this holiday season. Typically, it's about a fraction of a percent. So if you're looking at $30 billion being invested in online shopping because it was convenient, it was easy to do, you could get it shipped right to the particular family that you were sending it to, and also it was free shipping pretty much across the holiday season. So that really got shoppers, you know, in the online click and shop mood.
I looked at some of the financial periodicals this morning, and they were talking about the gift cards and how that'll actually prolong the shopping season because people won't cash in until after Christmas.
And this is one thing that really sort of muddles all the predictions. Gift card sales.
And they're more popular. They're huge this year.
They were huge. 70% of us got a gift card, you know, under our Christmas tree. And they're wonderful because one size fits all, easy to wrap, easy to ship. And if you know someone's favorite restaurant or their hobby, it's really easy to use. So, of course, most of us got a gift card. What tends to happen, though, is the gift card profits aren't included in the store sales until after they're actually redeemed. And so if you're looking at a huge amount, 5% of all stores sales come from gift cards. So that amount of money hasn't been added into the overall 2006 Christmas picture. And so once that gets added, and we're going to see, I think sales are going to be pretty healthy.
Our morning shows this morning, we had some statistics. It was 34% was the increase. Those buying gift cards, it was a 34% increase over last year. And they're talking about $25 billion in gift cards alone. That's huge.
It is really huge. We have to be very careful because we don't want the gift cards to be a gift to retailers and not to us shoppers.
Right.
What ends up happening is about 10% of all gift cards do not get redeemed. There's a little bit money left on the card. We forget about it. You lose it. You think it's expired. Shoppers have to be very careful. Typically, there's no expiration date, so they need to use it at any point, even if the expiration date has come and gone. Take it to the manager because chances are it's your money, and legally they owe it to you. And
we've also had experts on Pittsburgh Today Live that said even if your gift card expires, go ahead and check with the retailer because they may honor it. They may not,
and chances are they probably will.
Even if it's expired.
Even if it's expired. The only stipulation is if it was given as a donation to a church or a charity, and that typically then you've got the year or 6 months. But you have to be careful. A lot of the malls now are having a sort of a maintenance fee, and so the price of the gift card over each month may decrease a little bit, so you have to be careful.
You really got to look at the
and legally they can do that. And what's interesting is Pennsylvania law doesn't really stipulate anything as far as stores having to post or even have return policies, and they're very strict now because there's been a lot of serial returners. And so what you want to do is have as much information as you possibly can, get in there the amount of time you have to return things is much shorter. It's about 30 days or 90 days, as compared in the past it was up to 6 months. Electronics, if you've opened the box, chances are they're going to give you a 15% restocking fee. That's a hefty chunk of change when you've bought a digital camera for $300. You might be looking at $50 just to return it.
And typically the week between Christmas and New Year's is the big return week. More people return merchandise this week than any other.
It is, yeah. And you've got at Christmas time, 1 out of every 5 gifts are being returned, which is shocking. That's twice the return rate.
That's a lot of not fits.
A lot of not fits and a lot of, I don't really like that color. And
but you
why
use the
did
excuse
you
it
buy
doesn't
that for
fit.
me? Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So a lot of retailers are now making it kind of difficult for you to return it. I mean, you mentioned the restocking fees. You got to have a receipt. You got to have this.
Right. And you know, keep in mind, Keith, the story is they want you to be satisfied. So stores aren't going to make it extremely difficult, but they're also trying to keep their bottom line and not get in a way with the fraud and all the issues that consumers could have. And so they are much, much stricter than they've ever been, the policies. So shoppers really need to be aware of that. Don't sit on that merchandise. Get it back as quickly as possible. Go in with a receipt or a gift voucher, because if you don't, you may not get the full price that someone paid for that item. And also, if it was on sale, you're going to get that sale price. So you have to be very, very careful about that.
All right, simple yes or no. Big spending this week?
Yes, big spending.
Very
Absolutely.
good.
A lot more shopping. We've got a couple more days
Yes,
in 2006, and people are going to be out there.
Very good. Dr. Audrey, thanks very much for being here.
Keith. Many happy returns. Oh, Merry Christmas.
I'm hoping
to you
so,
too.
yeah. Happy New Year, too.
Yes,
We'll see you in the new year.
very shortly.
We will.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, still ahead here. You heard